Your subconscious mind doesn't know what poverty is unless you feed it through thinking. It doesn't know you were born into a poor family until you consistently feed it with that information.
Obi ke bibi tie bi fa bi to wasom fa bi bo bra fa bi show kotokuom mwa bi shuro bi gu bi baabi.
I will say it again. Your mindset and attitude are what is keeping you poor. There are two minds controlling your body: your conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is responsible for your rationalization and logical thinking, while the subconscious mind is responsible for all your involuntary actions. And guess what? It can even make decisions for you without you having to think about it. But with such a power to control your body, even without your permission, your subconscious mind cannot even differentiate your actions and the information your five senses feed it, whether good or bad. So this is what it does. Your subconscious mind collects and accumulates all the things you hear, feel, taste, smell, and see. And when it has collected enough, it assumes that's what your body wants, and then take decisions when you've not even thought about it. Let's make this more practical. The mobile phone in your hand right now is built with a similar subconscious mind called artificial intelligence that studies the things you do online and then gives you more of that anytime you find yourself online without you deciding for it. Your mobile phone doesn't ask you what you want to watch or read before showing them to you. It only studies the videos you watch and the kind of reactions you make when you watch those videos, and then continues to feed you with the content that are similar to what you've been watching. This is practically the same as what your subconscious mind does to you. Your subconscious mind doesn't know what poverty is unless you feed it through thinking. It doesn't know you were born into a poor family until you consistently feed it with that information. It can't even differentiate you from rich people's kids unless you keep saying it. So you see, can you imagine the harm you do to yourself by talking and thinking about poverty all the time? Can you see how you are feeding your mind with excuses, fear, inferiority, and failure? And some of you even go the extent of defending poverty codes. This is why your mindset and attitude keep you poor. And the rich are 100% right when they say that change your mindset and attitude and become like them. Feed your mind with strength, courage, success, gratitude, power, ability, wealth, and everything linked with success, and begin to see your mind replicating the same thing for you. Or you keep thinking and accepting that you are the least privileged in your entire society, born into a poor home, schooled in a poor school, stuck in a menial job, and your mind will accept that and replicate exactly that for you. Your mind is all the power you've got. So be the change you've always wanted. Majority of African youth are very timid, dishonest, less confident, and lack critical analysis due to educational upbringing and cultural orientation. Listen carefully. You went through an educational system that compelled you to seek the approval or rejection of your teacher before going to pee. A natural call. You even had your teacher walk out of the classroom because a smart boy or girl in the class asked too many questions. That alone suppressed your curious mind and forced you to accept everything who can think. You were even tagged disrespectful if you ever disagreed with the teacher's view. You were forced to stay within your enclosed environment. No excursions, no visitations beyond your school walls, and no experience with any kind of life beyond just walking from the village to and fro the classroom. You are now an adult and you can't even question the system. You are now an adult teacher or nurse, but you can't walk confidently to your education office or the health directorate to defend yourself on allegations leveled against you, unless you pay someone to forgive you. You can't even defend your thoughts once a person in authority shuts you down. You only make sentimental arguments without any information or critical analysis. just the normal insult and outpouring of your heart. Look at how your leaders insult one another on TV shows and can never end any political conversation with critical analysis that produces results or solutions to the problems of our society without insulting themselves. Yes, that wasn't your fault. But now that you are an adult, before you can liberate yourself from this timidity, cluelessness, lack of self-confidence, and the lack of critical mindset, you must be radical and intentional about it. Get up one day and walk straight to the district assembly and seek a meeting with the district chief executive. Walk to the Ministry of Education, Energy, or even the Parliament House and seek a meeting with the minister or meet and greet some members of parliament. Let them reject and chase you out, but that experience alone will put you 10 times ahead of your peers by reducing your fears. Walk to the law court and listen to how cases are dealt with and have the chance to learn how justice is served in your country and get to know your rights and how to exercise them. If they chase you out, that experience alone will beat down 50% of your fears. I have had authorities shout at me in meetings and ask me to stop speaking more than my age and my brain. But that experience alone made me realize the power I had in my small brain. Myself and 2 other friends visited almost 5 embassies in Ghana in 2019 just to ask why many people get visa refusals and what could be done to avoid it. Yes, there's information on the internet, but we needed a face-to-face experience to level up. The moment you wake up and begin to question everything around you, you begin to know what really is and what is not. Once you begin to enter places you've never entered, even if you receive several rejections, you will see yourself gathering experience and courage, and your mindset will shift drastically. And you can't believe how your curiosity, confidence, and critical analysis of the issues around you would significantly shape your entire life within some few months. This is how you build a confidence beyond what some of us have. Now tell me, what are your reasons if you are in any part of Africa looking for any means to invest and grow your money? Never consider fixed deposit or treasury bill. Pay attention. Recent research has proven that treasury bill is a capital instrument used by the government to mobilize funds from investors or individuals to fund urgent government projects. In a layman's language, we could say it is when citizens lend out their monies to the government in exchange of interest. Fixed deposit is also a capital instrument used by commercial banks to raise funds from individuals and groups for investment purposes, but with a promise of interest in return. So while individual banks control fixed deposits, but regulated by the central bank controls treasury bills on behalf of the government. Because of government's over-reliance on treasury bill to offset crucial expenditures, and fixed deposit being one of the major sources of funding for many commercial banks, they will do everything possible to protect them, which means that these 2 investment packages seem very safe to enter in most parts of Africa. But here's the problem. You see, the reason for interest rate on treasury bill and fixed deposit is not for profit making, but to compensate the inflation your money would have incurred while it stayed with the bank over the investment period. Let's assume that you kept 5,000 Ghana cedis with the bank for 6 months. Due to inflation, your 5,000 Ghana cedis will not be able to buy what you could have bought 6 months ago, and that is inflation. So for the banks to compensate that loss of purchasing power on your money is the reason why they offer you some interest on your investment, not because they want you to make profit. This means that anytime inflation rates go beyond interest rates, you are rather losing your money in treasury bill or fixed deposit, because even though your money would have increased in terms of nominal value after the investment period, it would have lost more purchasing power and not able to buy what you could have bought few months ago before the investment. Unfortunately, you and I are very much aware that the African economy suffers very high inflation rates every now and then, and there's a higher chance that inflation rates will always go beyond interest rates, which makes it very difficult to realize a practical growth in your money if put in treasury bill or fixed deposit for months. Listen to me. I have told you countless times that the only way to grow your money, to liberate yourself, is to invest in yourself to attract more money, or invest in a business of product or service hoping that it works. Only put your money in treasury bill or fixed deposit if you are not sure of what to do with the money yet. And don't ever give yourself the impression that the banks will help grow your money through treasury bill or fixed deposit. As a matter of fact, not a single form of capital investment with the banks is made to liberate you, because all these capital instruments with the banks are purposely used to raise funds for their own investments and projects, and they are only safe to keep your money for a while, not to use them as a money growing instrument. And if you don't get this as quick as possible, you will be working very hard for banks and financial institutions your entire life and have nothing to write home about.
Obi ke bibi tie bi fa bi to wasom fa bi bɔ bra